Hey, what's up P2P members? Let's do some daily mobility. Today we're working on the shoulder joint, so the glenohumeral joint, or that ball and socket joint at the shoulder. We're going to work on multiple position shoulder circles. So the goal with these as we start out, if this is brand new to you, is small circles and small, slow, controlled circles. And over time, we want to gradually increase the size of the circle and also play around with different speeds. So just some good ideas to bring variation to your joint mobility practice. But for now, small circles, fairly controlled, slower movement. And the first one we're going to work on, let's actually assess something today first. So we'll dive into right and left shoulder in a second. What I want you to do is check on something that's kind of related to the hip function. So hips and shoulders have a relationship in our nervous system. Let's do a couple squats. And I'm going to have you try these on ball of foot. So hold on to something if you need to for balance. We're going to go up onto the balls of the feet and then settle into a squat and come back up. Okay? So get a feel for how do my hips feel, how do my knees feel, how does the ankle feel? And again, holding on if you need to for balance, because that ball of foot position does challenge our balance and our ankle stability a little bit more. That's one, and then I also want you to do a forward bend. So let's assess your range of motion and forward bend, get a feel for how the low back, how the hips feel as you go into forward fold or forward bend. Okay, just get an idea for the range of motion. We want to keep the knees locked on that one. For our first shoulder circle, we're going to go shoulders down and in front. So I have a tall posture here, and then I'm going to create that small, smooth shoulder circle and go both directions. For the sake of time, I'm going to do the right and the left arm, but keep in mind you could break these up and do right side, then reassess, then do your left shoulder and reassess again to get really specific in terms of which movement, which joint needs maybe more movement and is a good input for your brain. So that's down and in front with the shoulder circle. We did them one at a time. We can also do them bilaterally. So if you wanted to do both at the same time and recheck what kind of output that creates in terms of your movement and your range of motion, let's go back to that ball of foot squat. So get an idea as we reassess, how do the hips and the knees feel? For me, left knee feels better. Didn't feel amazing on the first couple reps. Let's do forward bend, reassess there. And maybe a little bit more range of motion there too. So I would journal that, and I encourage you to journal. Keep your high payoff drills in that journal so you know these are great movements for me just as I go through daily life, through my training sessions, and we got some high payoffs for you to especially work on that are unique to you. Then we're going to go side circle. So I'm going to bring the arm out to the side, and again, nice controlled circle. I want to keep the shoulder blade and upper trap out of this as much as possible. So I'm not shrugging. I'm not creating a lot of tension in my upper back. I'm just focusing on isolating that in that ball and socket joint. So right kind of above, inside almost the armpit there, okay? So same thing on the other side. You can kind of palpate, get a feel for where that joint is, and nice controlled circles. Feel for, does it feel smooth on both sides? Does it feel about the same? And then let's go into bilateral. So both shoulders out to the side, same time, switch direction, just doing a few reps each direction. Good job. So we did down and in front, we did out to the side. Let's reassess. Go ball of foot. We're gonna sit down into the squat, push the floor away as you come back up, and then retest your forward bend as well. So pretty decent for me on that one. Then we also have cross body. These are tough to do at the same time because the arms can run into each other. So let's do it left side, right side individually. So we're going to take the arm, make a loose fist, lock the elbow, and that arm is now reaching across the body. Again, we don't want to really shrug. We're not going to bring that upper trapezius into it. We're just focusing on the shoulder joint itself. Again, tall posture, breathe. Remember to relax the rest of the body as much as possible, focusing in on that working shoulder. Good. Shake that out, and then let's go to the other side. So elbow locked. We're going to try to keep that elbow locked throughout, so you can check yourself by touching the elbow. Make sure that it's all the way extended. That'll bring the focus into the shoulder joint more. Good, relax and let's retest. So see what your balance is like after that in that ball of foot squat position. Holding on is okay again if you need to, want to, and go to forward bend. And that's definitely increased for me on the forward bend, so we would say cross body shoulder circle. Again, just journal the ones that work really well for you. Now we're going to go, we went out in front and down, now we're going to go straight out in front. So the elbow and wrist are at shoulder height, and then I'm circling out in front. You can, by the way, load these with light dumbbells. So if you want to add a little bit of strength work into the shoulder, or bands. Fantastic way to load the shoulder circles. Let's go both directions on that second side. Remember to breathe. Good. Shake out any tension from that and do a reassess on your squat. So ball of foot squat and forward bend. And so far, shoulder circles in general seem like a good idea for me to keep practicing. I hope you're getting some positive benefits here too, as the brain connects to that joint and tells you that it maybe likes that stimulus or likes that input. All right, the next one we're going to work on is a shoulder back, like a back shoulder circle, meaning the arm reaches behind you. We're going to stretch that pec muscle a little bit. Again, try not to shrug the upper trapezius or this muscle up here by the neck into it too much. And reaching that arm back with a loose fist. Notice trying to keep the chest bone forward, so belly button and chest bone facing forward. Go both directions with that arm reaching back. You do the range of motion that works well for you. This shoulder circle position, by the way, is amazing for injury prevention and just building a good brain map for one of the most common shoulder injuries that happens when somebody reaches back to the back seat in their car and tries to adjust the seatbelt for the grandkid or keep somebody in their seat, maybe, and not that our kids ever try to climb out of their car seats. And another one just like picking up something like a bag or a purse. So really common shoulder injuries, so we want to have a good map for this position. And as you build that brain-body awareness and then maybe load it a little bit to build some strength there, can be fantastic for injury prevention because your brain won't freak out if you reach back and pick something up. If you've already been practicing moving that joint at different speeds in that range of motion and different kind of movement patterns, but specific to that area. Hopefully that makes sense for you. Let's go back to the ball of foot squat. Settle the hips down and back. Push the floor away. It's feeling really good. Let's try the forward bend. And I think that's probably the best yet for me. So I would say shoulder back circle, good one to, again, note and practice. Okay? So that is our shoulder circle series, and we'll see you in the next video for more daily joint mobility.